Hi guys, I am going to explain what is gravitational force. We basically are talking about circular motion in which we have a big object that I'm going to call mass 2 and a smaller object that I'm going to call mass 1. The distance between these objects, considering from the center of mass 2 to the center of mass 1, is going to have an influence in the force of attraction that they have. This force of attraction also includes the gravitational constant, g, and is going to depend on the two masses as well as the distance between them. Why is this r and not d? Because when this object is going to begin to move, the circular motion that is going to be described is actually going to become the radius. So we can think that the radius constitutes something that is equal to the actual distance, like I said before, between the center of the two objects. This g, which is the gravitational constant, has a value of 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11. What are the units of this constant? Well, because we have two masses that are measured in kilograms and the radius which is measured in meters, what is going to happen is that g is going to have units of newtons meter squared over kilogram squared. So this becomes the constant that is called the universal gravitational constant, universal gravitational constant, and it has this value. As you can see, when we increase the distance, we are increasing the denominator, so a greater distance is going to result in a smaller force. The same way, if we were to increase one of the masses, either the big mass or the small mass, is going to result in a greater force as well. So we know that the forces that create an object and make them move around in a circle are going to be called the centripetal force. And when it's an invisible force, such as gravity, it's also going to be possible that it is a centripetal force. In this case, we have the gravitational force. So gravitational force is going to be equal to centripetal force for the case of all the planets. Gravitational force is going to be m1, m2, as we just saw previously. And then we know that the centripetal force is mass times the centripetal acceleration. Mass, centripetal acceleration. Remember that v2 over r is the acceleration. So the m in the case of the centripetal force actually corresponds to m1, which is the object that is moving around the other object. Remember to put m2 as the big object and m1 as the smaller object. When I have these two variables on the same side, I can say that I can cancel the m1s because they are on both sides, so canceling them. And then I also have r2 and r on the other side. So in this case, we can cancel the square and we can cancel r. Therefore, what we're having right now is mg times m2, which is equal to v squared, and this is over r. That means that we can actually calculate the velocity. Remember, this is the linear velocity that the object will have when it's circling around the other object. That is going to happen for constant speed. Remember that the velocity changes, but the speed is constant. When we want to manipulate and find v, I'm going to get that v equals the square root of g m2 divided by r. And this becomes our other formula to solve for the velocity.